Hola from the west side. It is me, DC the Purple Diva. Welcome to Not So Random Chat. Happy Thursday, everybody. And for those of you who are on the East Coast or across the pond, happy Friday and happy Valentine's Day to you if you celebrate. I hope everybody had a great day. Hey, Miss Mahogany. I hope everyone had a great day. It was a good day for me. I was actually able to do a little networking last night, actually early this morning, after I got off. Believe it or not, crazy me. So I saw a couple of YouTubers. Actually, I saw like about 6 or 7, and it was a total of 8. People get to 1K early in the wee hours of the morning. And it was actually wonderful to see that, because when I made my 1K, that's how I did it, in the wee hours of the morning. So it was kind of cool to watch some other people grinding in the middle of the night. But, I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit more about Mike Bloomberg, because I actually saw something in one of my Facebook groups that I'm in. And it's a Facebook group that I'm in with my sorority sisters. And I will continue to say that I am a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. So anyway, let me go find this thing that I saved, because I want to read it, because it was from one of my sorority sisters that's actually in New York. And I'm not going to read the full gist of it, but I just want to read the part of it that was about Mike Bloomberg. And it says, I want to implore you to do your research on Mike Bloomberg. Let's not be so eager to remove Trump that we support a man who has many of the same qualities. Bloomberg has been sued and settled 4 times for sexual harassment. These women were subject to non-disclosure, which Bloomberg won't release. Stop and frisk, which we discussed last night, which I will get to, is only one example of his racism and belief. Hey, Matt. I'm kind of reading something that I saw in one of my Facebook groups that's closed, but it's from someone who's in the New York area. It's actually one of my sorority sisters. And I'm just reading a portion of what she posted to you guys in regards to Mike Bloomberg, our subject last night. Bloomberg once blamed end of redining for 2008 economic collapse. Michael Bloomberg said that the elimination of a discriminatory housing practice known as redlining was responsible for instigating the meltdown. Let's see. It all started when there was a lot of pressure on banks to make loans to everyone, which we all know that was the Big Short, Bloomberg said. So he basically blamed that instead of taking ownership. at a forum that he hosted at Georgetown University in September of 2008. Redlining, as you remember, was the term which banks took whole neighborhoods and said people in these neighborhoods are poor. They're not going to be able to pay off their mortgages. Tell your salespeople don't go to those areas. We're all well aware of redlining. Sounds like he supported it. Let's see. Bloomberg has also been caught on a hot mic, too similar to Trump, and refers to it as locker room talk. The Democrat turned Republican turned Democrat, who reportedly admitted he said of multiple female employees, I'd do her. Read Bloomberg's collected comments about women, and you'll marvel about how presidential they sound by the standards of the 45th president. Like 45, the former New York City mayor has made repeated remarks about the physical appearance and sexual desirability of women in his workplace. Like 45, Bloomberg has allegedly complained about employees getting pregnant. Like 45, he has bragged about his sexual escapades and dismissed women who accused him of harassment as money-grubbing liars. Hey, Miss Pamela. Bloomberg's failure to pay the Central Park Five, and his remarks on their innocence. Bloomberg and public housing and lead poisoning. And I'm not even reading all of what my sorority sisters said in this private forum on Facebook. But just a little bit of stuff that I just went over, guys. And then I thank Miss Mahogany and the rest of you guys who were kind of giving me, the 411 in regards to him in last night's conversation. I really, really do. And then, just seeing this other information on Facebook today, just kind of sealing it for me with him. I'm just looking to see if there's anything else in here. Let's see. Bloomberg's soda tax. Bloomberg believed that the power of the government should be wielded to control the masses instead of promoting general welfare. Bloomberg's explanation for the rationale behind the infamous soda tax. Some people say, well, taxes are regressive, but in this case, yes, they are. That's the good thing about them, because the problem is in the people that don't have a lot of money, and so higher taxes should have a bigger impact on their behavior and how they deal with themselves. This is what he said. This is what he said. Okay, that was a direct quote from him. Let me just keep going. Okay, here's something else that she said. She said Bloomberg's narcissism is similar to Trump's. In 2015, employees at every town for gun safety, the gun control organization funded by Mike Bloomberg, arrived at work to find a holiday gift on their desk from their employer. The former mayor's 1997 autobiography, Bloomberg, by Bloomberg. Let me see. Then she talked about the stop and frisk, which we talked about last night. But this is just some information that I found on Facebook, and I just happened to see it because it popped up in my notifications, because I'm a member of that particular private group. And like I said last night, I feel like this man is just doing a snow job. He's trying to smooth with the, non-white voting public and trying to make us believe that he's for us, but he's not really. And it sounds like he's a lot like 45, and that's kind of scary.
Talking about some of my best friends who get black.
I mean, that sounds like it wouldn't be the best. It wouldn't be the lesser of two evils. It would be the same, just a different name. I just thought you guys would find that additional commentary that I got interesting. Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone who's on the East Coast. It's already Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm sorry, I'm chewing, guys. I'm eating again. I know you guys are going to think I'm always eating. It's just nice that I have rehearsals. I can't eat until after rehearsal. So I'm eating while I'm online. And this time I'm eating spaghetti. I'm eating pasta with my own homemade sauce and some Texas toast and fresh Parmesan cheese on top. It's actually pretty good. But, I was going to talk a little bit about Valentine's Day, just from the perspective that we all know that the history of Valentine's Day. But just in case, people don't know the true history of Valentine's Day and where it came from, let's just talk about it for a minute. So let me just get my little notes here together. And I'm not talking about the historical Valentine's Day. I'm talking about the modern day Valentine's Day that we celebrate. Let's see. Let me get my little thingy. Modern. There we go. So we're going to talk about how Hallmark revamped the pagan holiday so they could make it into a good day. But let's start out how it started. So how Valentine's Day actually started was in the year 496 AD. Like having a particular Valentine's Day is a very old tradition. And it came from a Roman festival. Y'all know everything comes from paganism. Don't y'all know that? Don't y'all know that? Everything comes from that. The festival, which celebrated the coming of spring, included fertility rites and the pairing off of women with men by lottery. That's how it first started. So let me just pull the rest of my stuffy up. All right, so I'm going to read a little stuff from the encyclopedia for you guys that is now online. Remember when we used to have to go and pull out like our Britannicas? So this is courtesy of Britannica. Valentine's Day, also called St. Valentine's Day, February 14th, when lovers express their affections with greetings and gifts. The holiday has origins in the Roman festival of Lupercalia, held in mid-February. The festival, which celebrated the coming of spring, included fertility rites and the pairing off of women with men by lottery. But by the 5th century, Pope Gelasius replaced Lupercalia with St. Valentine's Day. So what they did is they took a pagan festival and changed it and tried to slap Christianity onto it. But really it was the Roman Church. It came to be celebrated as a day of romance from about the 14th century. Although there are several Christian martyrs named Valentine, the day may have taken its name from a priest who was martyred in 270 by the Emperor Claudius II. According to legend, the priest signed a letter from your Valentine to his jailer's daughter, whom he had befriended, and by some accounts, healed from blindness. Other accounts hold that it was St. Valentine's of Tyranny, a bishop for whom the holiday was named, though it is possible that the two saints were actually one person. Let me see. Just seeing if it's okay. One person. I lost my place. Another common legend states that St. Valentine's defied the emperor's orders and secretly married couples to spare the husbands from war. It is for that reason that his feast is associated with love. The day is popular in the United States as well as in Britain, Canada, and Australia. It is also celebrated in other countries, including Argentina, France, Mexico, South Korea, and in the Philippines. It is the most common wedding anniversary, and mass weddings of hundreds of couples are not uncommon on this date. The holiday has expanded to expressions of affection among relatives and friends. Many school children exchange Valentines with one another. I know we all went through that as children, doing the Valentines, and you would be heartbroken if you didn't get any Valentines. But, I was one of those kids who would give a Valentine to everybody, because I wanted everybody to have a Valentine. But one of the things that we do know here in the United States is that Hallmark cards has really pumped up the holiday, because it was really kind of slumping. And, just another way for them to commercialize things, just like they've commercialized Christmas. So the card company started with, the cards and everything to get that ball rolling. I'm just reading to see what's in the chat, because I have to flip when I go, now I have to go back into YouTube, back into my chat. Mm-hmm. Catch up. That's right, we shared in school. And then how some people's parents, well, they would bring the little heart-shaped cookies, and everybody would bring the little candies, the sweethearts. Yeah, weren't they saying there was a shortage of sweethearts this year? Yeah, that they didn't have enough, and then some areas weren't going to have them. I don't know. I used to like those little candies though. But I am going to probably be on tomorrow night. I don't know how long I'm going to be on, but I will come on. You know, for a minute. And I think what I probably want to talk about on tomorrow is just to talk about love. Not just, love between a man and a woman or couples, because it could be a man and a man or a woman and a woman. Don't want to discriminate. But I mean, I'm not just talking about, the amorous type of love. I'm talking about like godly love and like the love for friends. I think it's probably a good time to talk about all the different types of love that there are. That might be a very good conversation. Because I don't know about you guys, but I mean, it's nice to go out on a date and everything on Valentine's Day. And don't get me wrong, I do like my flowers, but I don't want it to just be about like what that's the only time you get them. Give me flowers on a Tuesday. As Joey said. And I'm not a candy person, but I'm a girl. I like gifts. But it's a lot of pressure. I like creative stuff too. But I'm making dinner. That's what I'm doing. We're not going out to dinner. I'm making dinner. Oh yeah, that was hilarious. Rob was so cool. Cardi, man. I liked her though when she was on, Rhythm and Flow. Obviously, because she loves my boy. Speaking of, D Smoke was on Good Morning America today with his mama, my choir director, promoting his new album that dropped last week called Black Habits. He's got guest performances on this album. I'm giving them a free plug, y'all. By Snoop and Jill Scott, to name a few. I think The Game is on there as well. So, y'all need to check it out. I like that he was on Good Morning America today because I'm just thinking about like all of these different, contests that have been coming around. I'm just thinking about all of them. The Four, American Idol, The Voice. All of these different shows, even the ones, even the Rap Game, even all of them. I've never really seen anybody that came out of those shows that you immediately started seeing them do stuff like this. I mean, you'd see it like maybe right after they won, It was announced, but this was last year, y'all. This was like last October. He's on his own now. He did sign with Empire Records, which is a much smaller record company, you know, and he negotiated a good deal because he's got control over all his stuff. And, you know, he's basically running the plane and stuff. They've got a lot more creative control, but that's, you know, what he needed. But I just think it's a really, really big deal for him to be on Good Morning America at this point, you know, because most people don't know he's the one who wrote Never for John Heen. You know, that he got an ASCAP award for that. They don't know nothing about that. That literally happened when he was in college, and he's now in his 30s. That's how long it took from, you know, when he got that ASCAP award to him being on that show strategically, winning that show, getting that $250,000, and he has put out. This is the second album that he's put out since the show.
ASCAP award?
ASCAP.
Oh.
ASCAP.
I knew that. I knew that.
You know, and I mean,
what kind of shit is that?
And I'm like, I'm just making the point that the show aired on Netflix in October. It is February, and this brother has put out 2 albums. And the first one he put out, which was Inglewood High, you know, obviously giving props to where he went to school and everything. This one, Black Habits, you know, I've kind of told you guys, I told y'all some of the stuff in regards to him and everything. But this one, you'll see more because everybody's on the album. Well, everybody who can sing is on the album. Daddy can't sing. His pops can't sing, but his brothers are both on there. Sir is on there. Devion is on there, and his mama, you know, my friend, is on there as well. But he's like a conscious rapper, and he's got original stuff, and he's not really. I mean, he's speaking to millennials, but he's speaking to his music is for everybody. You know, because it's fire. And he's got something to say. You know? Because he's, as you know, an educated artist. You know, he's a musician as well as a rapper and everything, but he's educated, you know. Boy went to school, got a degree, you know. You know, was graduated at the top of his class in high school, but still grew up in the hood in Inglewood and did all of this stuff, had to go through all, you know, the fact of his father wasn't home for the first part of his life because his dad was in jail on drug charges. You know. So pumping it out there. If you guys get a chance, it is on YouTube, the appearance on there. And if I find the link, I'll drop it on my community tab for people to go take a look at. Just looking what everybody's saying. Hey, Terry. Terry, I think you missed it at the beginning. You'll probably have to check it in the replay. I was kind of giving some feedback that I had found on Facebook and in my sorority group from someone who is from New York, like, you know, and just really talking about who Mike Bloomberg really is. that he's basically 45 in many, many ways. And he's trying to fool people into thinking he's not like 45. So I hope people don't get taken in by him. And then of course I told you guys about Tom Steinberg. That's the other guy, this flailing out there. The other multimillionaire who's running for president. That's the one who ran for governor of California. Now he's running for president. He just runs for whatever, I mean, I'm telling you, he's run for every office that he could possibly run for. I'm telling you. I mean, and Terry, you're here in California. Am I kidding about Tom Steinberg? Does that man not run for everything? Does that man not run for everything? Oh, David, Miss Pamela said to tell you hi. Tom Steinberg runs for everything. That is exactly what he does. And to be honest with you, I don't really know that much about him. I just know he runs for everything. That's all I know. But I really believe that Mike Bloomberg is a mere distraction. Kind of like this Gayle King situation that she's made herself a victim in. Yeah. He's a distraction. Her being a victim is a distraction. And I hear many, well, several, I'll put it like that, who are, in the black media, who are saying, okay, Snoop's apologized. When you going to apologize for what you actually did, Miss Gayle King? I'd like to see that. Of course, I'm not going to hold my breath and wait for it to happen. Because she's already blamed it on the network. So for her to come out and publicly say she lied, that would be a lot. But all these old stupid things that have been floating around, everybody's mad at Snoop for apologizing. I'm not really mad at Snoop for apologizing. Snoop did what he had to do to keep peace in his family. Now, I don't know about y'all, but if my mama was still here and I had done some stuff like he did, and it's not what he said. It's not what he said. It's not what he was talking about. It's just how he said it, So, and my mama told me to take something back or to apologize for it, I'd do it too. He's honoring his mama. But he was passionate, so, but now I'd like to see Miss Gayle King to stop playing a victim. Girl, stop that. Ain't nobody trying to see you be a victim. No, but she does. But she does need to apologize, though, Miss Pamela. That's what I want. I want to see apologize. It's not going to get her. It's not going to get her another interview from a black person at this point. But it'll make us feel better. Because what she's done so far was not even close to an apology. She hasn't even come close to apologizing. All she's doing is crying, woe is me. Oh, everybody's coming after me. Oh. Didn't somebody tell you not to say anything and to just let it go? That's what you should have done. You should have just not said anything. Because what you said made it worse. He made it worse. Exactly. He apologized for the name calling. That's all he apologized for. And that's all he really needed to apologize for. He clarified that he was not talking about anybody coming after her. So Snoop don't need to say a daggone thing else. I'm waiting on Miss Gail King. I'm waiting on her. You know? But, you know, she and Oprah have an agenda. And their agenda is quite clear. And you can hide and try to pretend like it's not. But until I see you doing the same type of reporting on your friend Harvey Weinstein, who, by the way, is on trial right now. Yeah. Or, I don't know, say Kevin Spacey. Yeah. Till I see you talking about these people who are not black, or even the dearly departed wretch of a man, Mr. Jeffrey Epstein. I need to hear you talking about one of those three men with the same venom that you have when you're talking about someone who is a black man. Make me believe it, Gail. Make me believe it. That it's not just that you have it in for our men. Make me believe it, girl. Come on. Matt, you wrong. Matt, you are so wrong. You wrong, dude. I mean, you know, some grannies are getting it in. I mean, some grannies are getting it in. I mean, you know. And we don't know if Gail is getting it in or not. You know, we have no idea. She needs something, or she needs a better moral compass, because clearly she don't. Hers is gone. Hers is gone. She had there was like, I mean, as a black person, but hey, maybe she's not black. You know, maybe she's just rich. You know, when you get rich, sometimes you forget. But come on back down here with the rest of us, Gail. you need to remember that. You need to remember what color your skin really is, woman. And you're going to need us before we need you, sister. And I use the term sister loosely. Oh my goodness, you do? So she has issues. So Gail has issues. You see these sisters who have issues, you know, you can't, don't be putting your issues, because, your man went to someone who was of another race. Don't put that on everybody else. Don't put it on everybody else, Miss Gail King. You need to go work those issues out in private. I mean, we know about Oprah and her issues. Her issues are deep seated, and I'm not going to even take it lightly. I'm not going to joke about it, because she's a victim of molestation as a child. By and a parent was involved. So she came into this with some other baggage, and already had some probably deep-seated issues with Black men. You, Gail, on the other hand, this is latent. Okay? And I know you want to be there for your friend and everything, but she is going to let you ruin your own career. You are not Oprah. We keep trying to tell you that. You're not her. She's Teflon and can bounce back from everything. And no, you're not going to lose no money and everything, but you're just not going to have, you are going to be blackballed by the Black community. And that's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt you. See? Because you're not Oprah. Once again, let me remind you, you're not Oprah. So, like I said, not going to take anything away from what happened to Oprah. That explains why she's the way she is. But, you would think that it would make her that way about men, period. You would think. And then, let me see what you guys are saying. She's already being called Fail King. Now that one's funny. That one's funny. She's already being called Fail King. Here's the thing. She is a woman of a particular age, okay? And It's just not a look. It's not a good look. You know, you she just seems so bitter. And I mean, have you guys gone back and actually looked at this interview and stuff? And you see that Lisa answers her question and then she goes back in to put a button on it, like to make sure that Lisa meant what she said the first time. You know, and in a couple more days, I'm gonna be off of her because really, she doesn't even deserve the talk. I mean, yeah. We should be talking about, the upcoming celebration of life, which ironically, you guys, is the same day that Jussie Smollett has to go back to court. Y'all. Now, we talked about Jussie. We talked about Jussie last year. Matter of fact, that was one of the first things I talked about on one of my lives. And this isn't really about him. Y'all do realize this is about that the district attorney in Chicago, the black lady who didn't get it right. They weren't able to proceed and everything got dropped, and for whatever reason. This is really about that. So, okay. So now we all have to relive, this dude's true I don't know what he was doing, y'all. I don't even know what Jussie was doing. I can't even. I can't even. And I'm trying. I'm laughing, but I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because it's so stupid what he did. And now he could potentially go to jail for 3 years. And he's black. And he's gay. Yep. Who came in? Hey, Languages of Horse. That's what I'm talking about, Miss Pamela. And nobody's looking for them. Those two brothers. Nobody's checking for them. They just want to make an example out of Mr. Jussie Smollett. They just want to make an example out of him. So, here's if that's going to also be happening on the 24th of February. That is the date of the celebration of life for Kobe. Sorry, you guys, I walked across the room. I'm coming back. But they're going to have that. They're going to have that celebration of life at the Staples Center. So it's not going to be this crazy crowd. They haven't even said anything as to how people are getting tickets. None of that's been stated. But I find it ironic that they're also going to have that court date for Jussie on the same day. I still remember him though, y'all. Do you guys remember Eve's Bayou. Y'all remember that movie? Well, I think that was Jussie. He's the one who was in that movie with his older sister.
Yeah.
Because they were in that movie with Megan Good. Y'all remember that movie? Samuel L. Jackson? That was a good movie. Debbie Morgan. I love Eve's Bayou. Great movie. Check it out. If you've never checked it out, check it out. Anyway, the little brother, yeah, that's Smollett. Because they had him and his sister, you know, they had the two Smollett kids on there. And then they had Megan Good, and they played the three children. It was a good movie. If you haven't seen it, go find it. It's out there. Eve's Bayou. And you watch Miss Little Miss Megan Good when she was a child. You see that she's a pretty good actress, but she was, I mean, that shows you where she was as a little kid. Because I think that was like her first really big movie. The stuff that she had done before that was like, you know, she was in one of the Friday movies. Yeah. Like little teeny part. But need to watch that movie. But yeah, he's the little boy in that movie. So I mean, and then you guys remember their family. It was on ABC like a million years ago. I'm going to say it was in the late 80s to the early 90s that they had a television show on ABC. I don't think it lasted more than a season, where it was all of them Smolletts. I'm telling you, it's a bunch of them. It was all of them. They were all on that. You should be able to find it probably somewhere on YouTube. I can't remember the name of the show, but they did have a show. The entire family. You know, I mean, he comes from a good family, so I don't know what the rationale. You know, narcissistic personality. You know, to get the attention. You know, because narcissists don't care what kind of attention they're getting. It could be good or bad. They don't even care. Yeah, the whole family. Whole family. The whole family has acted. Now, I don't think everybody is still acting. I know, you know, Jussie and the older sister are. June. The one who was in Eve's Bayou with him. And then she was in that Tyler Perry movie, y'all. Oh. Y'all remember that Tyler Perry movie? The one about HIV? Ooh. Man. That was one of those movies that Tyler did. It was deep, and I was just like, dang, Tyler. It was really good, but it was I didn't like how it ended and stuff. You know, Brandy was in that movie too, as a matter of fact. That his sister was in. Brandy was in that movie too. But they're saying that, you know, he could potentially go to jail for 3 years. You know, but let's be honest. If he was not black, that probably would even be on the table. You know what I mean? But he is. And, you know, sorry, bro. But just see, in this particular situation, they don't give a rip about you being part of the LGBT. They just looking at a black man. Okay? You know, and you're not, and you're not like, how can I say this? He's not like the feminine type of gay guy. You know what I mean? He doesn't come off that way. He just, you know, he's just a dude, and he, you know, happens to be, you know. But dude, all they see is a black man. You know, you tried to do that. He tried to make it about him being gay. Man, I don't even understand. You know, I was shaking my head back then, and now we trying to deal with, you know, with all this stuff with Gail disrespecting Kobe, and then Kobe's celebration of life is coming up, and now we got to deal with Jussie going back to court for his foolery. I mean, all this stuff on us black folk right now. In addition to whatever our real life is, you know. But these things, you know, like the situation with Kobe and Gayle King doing, disrespecting him in death, was something that he was never convicted of, and making it seem like he was, for those of us, you know, for those who weren't around at the time. That it reflects bad on us, on black folk. It really, really does. And it makes other people think that it's okay to disrespect him too. And I think that's what she does not get, is that, you know, everybody's like, well, nobody made a big deal when the other people were doing it. Sure, we were. But, you know, they weren't getting the pass, but we expected that from them. We just didn't expect it from her. So, you know, we're going to see what happens with how she handles this stuff going forward. Yeah, but yeah, because, you know, the interviews out there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the full thing. I'm pretty sure you can probably find the full interview on CBS's website too. They're not taking that thing down. Why would they? Because if nothing else, it proves that it's her. She did it. It's her. Doesn't look like, you know, because you always know what you're going to ask before you do an interview as a journalist. You know what I'm saying? You have your list of questions that are approved or whatever. And I'm sure she's at the place where she didn't need any prior approval for her questions and stuff. But she should have run them by somebody to make sure they were okay before she went in there thinking it was okay to ask that craziness. And if she did ask somebody like Oprah, that's not the person she should have asked. She should have asked somebody else. She didn't ask Roland Martin either, because clearly he's on her side with asking the questions. And I told you guys, I don't know how many of you guys have seen, you know, on his channel here on YouTube, he has something up. And it's like a bunch of black journalists, they're laughing about the situation. They think that us other black folk are overreacting to what Gail did. I told him in the comments that I felt that they were being disrespectful to Kobe's memory. And with the laughing. You know, I don't know. Might have deleted my comment or maybe blocked me from his daggone channel. Who knows? I don't care. No, I don't subscribe to the OWN network. I watch it on YouTube because I like Greenleaf. And speaking of Greenleaf, somebody said that they stole that from somebody. That was stolen from someone else. And they're being sued. For Greenleaf. And I like Greenleaf. Because I love Keith David. And who else is on there? And Lynn Whitfield is on that. And then, you know, one of the Winans is on there. Deborah Joy. But I don't watch it on OWN. I watch it because, you know, every season of Greenleaf eventually comes to Netflix. Well, Vicky is a little... See, here's the thing. Wasn't Vicky Dillard, she used to be a Christian, now she's not? I'm just saying. Didn't she used to be a Christian, now she's not? You know? I know Michi does not. Michi X, she don't like Vicky. I watch Michi. You know, I love Michi. I just wish she didn't curse so daggone much. Really? I mean, I like Greenleaf, but I was, you know, that hurt my heart that they stole it. And they stole it from some black folk. And they being sued. Okay, so she's a Muslim now, Christian Muslim. This mahogany, exactly. She a mixture. You know, because she gets on, you know, but I listen to some of the stuff that Vicky does, you know. Every once in a while, I'll listen to Boyce, but you know, it's hard because the man tells you every chance he gets about his daggone PhD. See, I come from a family where there's multiple PhDs in my daggone family, okay? Or doctors. You know, my dad is a medical doctor. His wife has a PhD. My late uncle, his brother, had a PhD. His widow has a PhD. And his first wife has a PhD. You see that? You see how many PhDs I just named in my own personal family? So when Boyce Watkins talks about his PhD, I'm not saying that it's not something to be proud of, but he does not have to mention it all the daggone time. We know you are Dr. Boyce Watkins. We know you have a PhD, brother. Hey, Latu. Viacom does own a lot. Viacom owns BET. One of my sorority sisters is in the legal department with Viacom. Actually, it's one of my line sisters, but yeah, she works for them. They own a lot, but Robert Johnson sold it to them. Oh, I don't even sub to him, but because I do follow the Fly Nubian Queens, because it's not just Vicky on there, I know how to take in the watermelon and spit out the seeds with them. I do. But they also bring in Dr. Claude Anderson, who I love. That brother. He speaks some serious, financial stuff. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I don't really listen to him. But because I subscribe to Fly Nubians, Boyce comes up in my recommendations. And I'll check him out every once in a while. But I'm not watching him all the time. I don't watch him that much. But I do watch Michi. But I haven't seen anything from her in a while. Maybe I'm just not getting notifications. I'm just looking to see what you guys are saying. Yeah, but whew. And they're about to air the end of Empire. It's about to come back on for the end of it. I think it's going to come on after the Mask ends, because they're on the same network. But man, I stopped watching it a while ago when it just lost its touch. But I will come in and watch certain episodes, because my girl Tasha's on there. And I have to support Tasha, but I mean, we knew it was only going to be, 6 seasons in the first place. So but it's just a shame that it's going to be ending with this nasty shadow over the show with Jussie. I mean, they've already written his character out, I'm sure. No, Pamela Viacom owns BET. It hasn't been black owned since Robert Johnson sold it to them. He sold it to them when he went and helped to bring a team to North Carolina. So yeah, took that money and went into professional sports. So BET is not Black owned. I think OWN is the only Black owned network at this point. I'm just saying. I think it is. I mean, I know we have that Africa channel, but I don't think Africa channel is Black owned. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think that it is. I think that it started out Black owned because a lot of the people who were at BET left BET and went to Africa channel. So it may be I take that back. It may still be Black owned. So maybe you have Africa channel and OWN. Yes, Pamela, Viacom. You know, like I said, Oprah owns OWN. That's her network. See, Tyler Perry has a movie studio. But he puts his product on OWN and on what's that other channel that he had his stuff on? I can't even think of it. I can't even think of the channel. TBS? Yeah. That's where because remember he had his program on TBS. Then I think he moved it over to OWN to help Oprah out. And he developed the haves and have-nots for OWN. He has a couple of programs on her network, really. And I think that's pretty much the network programming, like shows. And then Greenleaf, there's a few shows on there, about maybe 4 or 5. And see, I never have gotten into the haves and have-nots. My sister loves it. I tried to watch it, but it was too soap opera-ish for me. It was not, I thought it was going to be more like Dallas or Dynasty-like, but it was more soap opera-ish to me. So, that's why I'm not really into it, but I do like Greenleaf. I like Greenleaf. And then I never got into Power. I've never gotten into Power. Probably because I didn't have Stars. Now on my Prime, on my Amazon Prime, I can watch the Stars shows and stuff. But I still haven't watched Power. So I don't know. I think it's because I don't particularly care for 50. I think that's what it is. And the reason I don't care for him is because he said something about people with autism. And he said it on Twitter. And he got dragged by the autism community, myself included, when he did it. And I think he half-ass apologized for it. And I still don't like him. I've never watched it either, Terry. I've never watched it. I know who's on the show because everybody else watches it, but I've never watched it. I watch that other show that's on Stars, the one that LeBron James produced, the basketball show, the one about the basketball player. That's the something remorse, survivor's remorse. Yeah, I watched that one.
Thank you very much.
I don't care for 50 Cent because he said something in regards to something very insensitive in regards to people with autism. And yeah, so I'm good. I'm good. So, I'm good. If I happen to see something he's in, okay. But I'm not going out of my way. You feel me? That's where I am. So. And I'm sure he could care less, and I'm fine with that. He don't care. But personal diva, what about forgiveness? Oh, well, I can forgive him and still not support him. But that's where I am. I'm just, I just don't like him very much. I don't hate him. I just don't care for him. He'll be all right. He ain't gonna lose no sleep. Exactly, Miss Pamela. That's where we are. He's one of those dudes that either you like him or you don't like him. With 50, it's either you like him or you don't like him. I don't like him. Now I liked his music in the past, but him as a person, I don't care for. So therefore, I don't go out of my way to support him. It's just that simple. Now, if I see him starting to completely change his mind about autism, like he's suddenly touched by autism because it touches his life, someone in his life and his family, maybe I'll change my position. But in the meantime, I'm, where I am. Exactly, Latu. He ain't losing no sleep. He could care less. Exactly. He could care less. So it's just my opinion of this man. And it's of him as a person. Yeah. I'll give him that. He's good at the acting and stuff that he's done and all this stuff. We all know that he's an arrogant, what. We know this about 50. So, thank you, Pamela, because he's an arrogant, what. You call him $50? Half of $1. Exactly. Call himself 50 Cent. You just have to laugh at it. He does choose to be the way he is. He does choose to be the person that he is and act the way that he acts. You know, I mean, we all saw how as he was going through bankruptcy, he was thumbing his nose at the bankruptcy courts by posting pictures with money, fake or real, on Instagram. All up in his IG. Like, what? They're not going to go on Instagram and see you posting all this stuff? You know, so makes me question his bankruptcy. Hey, Alex Tube, how are you? Half a dollar has done many things about black. Yeah. He's y'all, and y'all know he had Vivica Fox all turned out, twisted up. He had her stalking him and stuff. I was just like, girl. I'm like, Vivica, girl, get it together. And he trash talked her. Trash talked her too. You know, I'm like, dude, this how you are about Vivica Fox? You know what? All you have to do is reach out to the people in the chat. A lot of the people in the chat have channels and everything. Just introduce yourself to them. You know, I don't really do a growth stream at Lex, but all streams are growth streams. All streams are for people to connect in, and all of the people in the chat are good, are great folks. So feel free to connect with anybody, okay? I'm just reading what you guys are saying. All right, let me do something. My son just connected my YouTube upstairs, so I'm getting ready to disconnect it. I hate when he does that. Let me just do this. Yeah, I'm gonna disconnect. Oh, he just connected me to the So y'all know I have like a shower Bluetooth, so you can listen to music in the bathroom. And my son turned it on, so my phone immediately started playing upstairs in my house. Thank you, Terry. Yes, please hit the like button, guys. But yes, there are channels in here that you can connect with. We're only going to be on for like about another 5 minutes, guys. Because I've been on for like an hour and a half, and it's almost 11:30 here on the West Coast. And I have a meeting tomorrow morning. That kind of day for me on Friday. But it's Friday. It's Valentine's Day. We're all going to be doing something special if we have someone we want to do something special for. I'll tell y'all what's really special is that my dad, every year since Valentine's Days, or sends a Valentine's card, or he calls both of his daughters to wish us a happy Valentine's Day. But he usually will send us something so that, you know, even though, you know, are in relationships or have a significant other or husband or whatever, he always has done that. So I think that's so sweet of my dad to do that. You know, making sure, you know, setting that standard. Setting that standard. He's setting that standard, you know. But, you know, I think it'll be, I'm gonna sit on something. Yeah, I think it'll be a cool day. I'm glad it's on a Friday. I'm glad it's a 3-day weekend for most of us, you know, even though President's Day is so commercialized, you know. But I like to think about the fact that when we go into President's Day, that it also represents the one president who was Black. Now, he may not have been of slave descent, y'all, because we know he's related to the Bushes on his mama's side, and we know his daddy was straight out of Africa, you know, be it Kenyan descent. But he is a Black man by most standards. You know, even with his fair skin, his features are much more African than most of us. So, you know, I'm not going to take from him that he, you know, that day is to honor him, as well as people that we don't really want to honor. Which is another reason why those who don't vote need to really reconsider that, especially in this upcoming election. You really need to look at who is out there throwing their hat in the ring, because we got some slippery snakes trying to come up in here and confuse the issues. Obviously, many of us would like there to be someone else in the White House other than 45. You know, we want it to be a 46, but we have to think, at what cost do we want there to be a 46? You know what I mean? Do we want someone who is worse than what we have, or just as bad as what we have in our eyes? I mean, you know, we just really need to think about that. So, you know, if you weren't here at the beginning, you know, and you caught this toward the end, I really would like you, if you have an opportunity, once the video uploads of this live stream, to listen to the beginning of the live stream, because I talked a little bit about some things in regards to Mike Bloomberg, and they were from some comments that I got from a post on Facebook from one of my sorority sisters, but she is a New Yorker. And she was really imploring people to really think about it before they considered Mike Bloomberg as a potential successor to 45. And so I would like people to just take a listen at that, you know, just, and obviously make up your own mind, but you want to know all the facts about any candidate that's coming in the race, especially one coming out of left field like him. You know, the Tom Steinbergs of the world, I'm not really thinking about. He runs for everything. He's here in California and he's going to run for everything. It just is what it is. And the rest of the country is never going to see him. We just have to endure it here in California because he's going to run for everything. So, guys, let me come on. Let me see if I can bring this up. with some light so y'all can see me. Hey guys, I'm here. Got the lights on so y'all can see me. So I just wanted to say thank you everybody for coming out. And my hair is looking kind of crazy on my head. But it is the purple hair. I do really have purple hair. Thank you all for coming through. Until the next time, I want to offer you guys peace and blessings from the West Side. Thank y'all for being here tonight. I will see you guys later today, and we're going to talk about love since it is that love day. Anyway, happy Valentine's Day to everybody, and I will see y'all later today. Bye.